I mean, this industry, I tell people if you write about 1 million to 2 million a year, you're paying bills. 2 million to 5 million a year, you're creating a lifestyle. 5 million and above, you're creating a legacy. And we want
Mm,
everybody building a legacy. And 10 million plus, you're creating generational legacy. Because the whole idea, what I want people to do is this isn't about us. Yes, I could do very well. I have this whole thing. I mean, I'm sure I'm a Christian and I have these belief
absolutely.
systems, but the way I look at it is none of this money is mine. To me, I
Right.
ask God for an allowance, and whatever He allows me to spend, that's what I'm going to use. The rest is all about just helping other people.
What is up? Welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins, and today I have an extremely special guest. Man, a guy I've been following for years. I'm talking like I knew about what he was accomplishing before we even created 8%, and I feel like 8%'s been around forever. Here's some things I want to say before I jump in and ask some questions and introduce you to our special guest. Right off the bat, he's written over 310 million in personal annuity production, which is crazy impressive. Runs Retirement Realized Financial agency name Eagle Shadow, which is really unique. Life and annuity, and then also Retirement Realized Radio from Colorado. Now, please welcome Chad Owen. How are you,
Hi,
sir?
excellent. Thank you. I actually knew you guys when you were 4% nation. You actually doubled up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Exactly. Just keeps getting better, man. All
It
the
does.
training you're doing for annuity agents, that's what it is,
Yes. Yeah. We used to be at a 4% success rate. Now we're at an 8% success rate.
There
So,
we go.
we're
There we go.
getting more and more people being successful. That's all good. So,
Amen. Well, one of the things I've respected about you the most is you, number one, I mean, you have an amazing reputation, but you care. Like
oh
your
yeah.
goal is to see people win. You help so many agents and advisors that you truly don't have to help. You don't
hmm
make any money off of that.
hmm
You just really want to give back. The industry's obviously, done amazing for you, and
hmm
you'd love for it to be as amazing for other people as it has been for you. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yep. I agree. I mean, this industry, I tell people if you write about 1 million to 2 million a year, you're paying bills. 2 million to 5 million a year, you're creating a lifestyle. 5 million and above, you're creating a legacy. And we want
Mm,
everybody building a legacy. And 10 million plus, you're creating generational legacy. Because the whole idea, what I want people to do is this isn't about us. Yes, I could do very well. I have this whole thing. I mean, I'm sure I'm a Christian and I have these belief
absolutely.
systems, but the way I look at it is none of this money is mine. To me, I
Right.
ask God for an allowance, and whatever He allows me to spend, that's what I'm going to use. The rest is all about just helping other people. And, there's so much out there that they almost get like they're afraid to share the secret sauce, and you're afraid. I follow Elon Musk quite a bit, and that guy literally doesn't do patents on anything. He's like, hey, if somebody can do it better, then let them do that. That's how I feel in my industry. I'm not threatened by other people's success. If they can take what I have and they can make it better, then make it better. Now, if you're trying to, you and I have both built systems, and we know there's people out there that they have not the best intentions and they want to kind of poach your material. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if the people just, we all get this attitude that let's just help each other. Come on. I mean, wait and
That's
see
right.
where this industry could be, you know?
Oh, it's yes, it's incredible. What age did you start in insurance?
31. Yeah. I was
Wow.
at the age where, and you're still at this age, Cody, where you're trying to help somebody. They go, I got grandkids older than you. And I'm telling you, it's,
Yeah.
it's so funny. I was, yeah, but my grandkid, I don't live at home in your basement. I'm actually trying to help. But
Yeah.
then it did help to get the gray. People are like, well, why don't you dye your hair? I'm like, come on. Do you know how much money this gray has made me? So
Mm,
yeah, I'm all about it. Yeah, I got started at 31 and I actually just made 20 years in the business. And I hope
wow.
to have another 20 more at least.
Congrats. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good
I I
business.
I I think I think too, like you even mentioned it, and maybe it was a joke, but maybe it was real about the gray hair. I have noticed a lot of extremely successful individuals. They really focus on a lot of the details, man.
Mhm.
Like they think about all the different pieces. Where, like your reputation's important. What you do for clients. Like I know would never do anything that you would never personally do yourself. Like
Yeah.
I'm just super impressed by that. I think it ends up, I mean, that's how you really build and grow something and
Mhm.
keep an amazing reputation for a very long time.
Well, I'll tell you, I have this saying that I came up with a little while for: strive for perfection, settle for excellence. There's
Mm,
no way to be perfect in everything we do. But if that is our goal
mm,
and we're striving for perfection and we settle at excellence, I mean, think about what you've done with 8% Nation. It's literally a nationally known brand and it's
thanks.
excellence. I told you before, it's not, you can tell you don't use clip art. You can tell you actually do an incredible job, but why is it so good? It's the team you have, you know. I did hear
Right.
Dylan was a little challenging though, but no,
You never know.
no, I
That's
never
so funny.
met Dylan before. You just mentioned his name before, but I have a
I
good
did.
friend named Dylan. So anybody named Dylan has got to be good. So, but
I love that.
the brand is incredible. And so
Thank
when you think about excellence, if we did everything in excellence, I mean, it's from your application. I look at some people's applications, I'm going, I can't even understand what you're writing there, and thank God for e-apps, but they're fact
mm,
finding. They're not doing fact finding. They're not leaving, they have this folder they bought at Office Max and they put their little sticker on it. And I'm going, no wonder they're sitting there going, who's this person that's trying to get 100, 500,000, $1 million? They don't carry the standard of excellence. And I think
mhm.
that's where we need to shoot.
Amen. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's so easy to just get start doing well and then get
Mhm.
lazy or just settle for less. I mean, one of the things I'm curious what your thoughts are. I think some of the things we've done well, but I've made a lot of mistakes in this area that I can see you've done really well in this is really focusing, honing in on one thing,
Mhm.
becoming an expert,
Mhm.
becoming excellent,
Mhm.
and that's how you've been able to scale. I see so many people trying to do literally everything. They're like, "Oh, you want travel insurance?
Mhm.
Great, dude. I do
Oh
that
yeah.
too." You know?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that for all the agents and advisors listening?
Well, I can tell you, you said it's easy to do well and then kind of slack off a little bit. And that's true. I do see a lot of agents do that, but live your life as an indexed annuity. Never go backwards. Once you hit that level, just stay at that level and go up and never go backwards. And when you see other people thriving off of your mentorship,
Mm.
that internal drive is, I need to do better. I need to do, I did Krav Maga for 9 years. And my
Oh,
instructor
wow.
would never be where he is if he settled being as good as his students. The students, as the students grow, they need to grow. And,
Mm.
but he's also the first guy that goes, I guarantee you I can win a fight every single time. And we're like, well, how do you do that? And he turns in, he runs out the door. And he's like, I win. And I'm like, this is brilliant. He won. But I said, hey, what if
That's
your wife
great.
and kids are there? And he goes, well, then I guarantee you I'm still winning. You know, but
There you go.
you think about these experts, and all experts are specialized in one. They hone this thing and they become perfect in it. And when I say perfection, perfection is often a mindset. It's not an arrogant attitude. If you get to a certain stage, that probably 95% of the people you're ever going to go up against you in a fight, you're going to probably beat them. Now, they can pull out a gun and then you lose. There's things like that. But when you look
Sure.
at agents, they try and be the jack of all trades and the master of none. Now, it's good to
Mhm.
be like, I know a ton about law. I know a ton about taxes. I know a ton about, things that pertain to my industry, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. But when it comes to retirement, it's so easy for someone to do health insurance and Medicare. And I have no problem with the Medicare. A lot of times people use that as a lead source. But you need to be, if you're going to present something, you better know inside and out that this is the best thing. I own 3 annuities myself. I bought my first annuity when I was 41 years old. I believe in what I do. And how can you sit there and say you're great at retirement if you can't get your own finances under control, if you don't have a retirement plan? So
Mm,
I think we don't need to just focus on what we're doing. We need to live what we're doing. Would you ever, it's important to understand this because, Cody, there's a lot of critics out there. I will never take criticism from someone I won't take advice from.
mm,
It means nothing to me.
that's good.
So when you're trying to be an expert in your area, why would you sit there and expect them to listen to you if you're not an expert in that area? How can you be
That's
critical of their retirement if you're not in excellence in your retirement?
mm,
So,
that's good.
yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I'm sure it happens. Like when you reach the level that you have, goodness gracious, I'm sure you're getting, criticism every single day, whether it's warranted or not. Like
I actually
it's just
don't.
part of it.
That's the crazy thing.
That's
Every
amazing.
once in a while I'll get a stalker and they just like, you sell
There you
fear. I'm like, where did you get that? No way. It's all about safety and security, but it's so rare because if you get known
go.
as that person that will take that 15-minute call or help someone that, hey, I just got in the business, that reputation gets around. And when
Yeah.
they realize that I've had an academy for 6 years that I've taken one draw from in 6 years, you know, that
Yeah.
repetition gets around.
Yes, it
So,
does.
yeah.
Yes, it does. I've always heard amazing things. How was your first? If you look back, also too, when you mentioned Krav Maga earlier, I was going to say, well, dude, you said 9 years. I'm like, we should put you in charge of security, but now I'm afraid you would just run. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't run. This body is not built for running. It's not. I will die tired, but I am not running. So I'll stand my
There you
ground,
go.
and my last breath will be somebody younger, quicker, more endurance than me. But I can say I fought
Yeah.
well. So,
I've considered doing like something jujitsu, just something like self defense. Would you recommend something like that?
oh
Honestly,
man, how tall are you?
6'1".
Yeah, 6'1", and you're a little lanky. So, I think you'd be a killer at jujitsu or Krav is great because it literally takes all the martial arts and puts them together.
Mm,
They'll take your taekwondo, which is incredible at kicking. They'll take your grappling, which is jujitsu. They'll take, and there's no rules. There's absolutely no rules. When it's time to take care of business, you take care of it however you need to. And they are very good at telling you when not to escalate it. Like there's certain things you don't gouge someone's eyes out if you're not intending to go to that level. Boy, this went
yeah.
dark really quick. What are you doing to me,
Yes, it
Cody?
did. My bad.
It's
My
like,
bad.
no, but I think you should definitely do something. You need to
Okay,
work
cool.
on your endurance there, bud. You're looking a little out of shape.
I know, man. I mean, I'd be in trouble.
Please, you could outlast me all day long.
Maybe it's
Just
the I'm still trying to play basketball, so that's helping a little
yeah,
bit,
don't ask me to run on stage. You said you had like a 40-foot platform or something. I'm like, I'm not running out there, man. I'll walk. I'll do a little jog maybe, but I'm not running. So
Oh, I love you. You're amazing. Did you always do this well? Like, how you have obviously, you have a ton of fun, you enjoy what you
mhm,
do. Like, what
yeah.
did the first few years look like for those people that are, like, new to the industry listening to this?
It sucked.
Yeah.
It did. I ran into a lot of people that, I got involved in the multi-level marketing mortgage protection business and they just push these products and I'm going, why are you doing this product? I know there's something. This person's perfectly healthy. Why wouldn't we do a medically underwritten? That's not what we do. And I even had one guy tell me, oh, it doesn't matter if they're smoker or non-smoker. This is a non-med product. Just put them as a non-smoker. And I'm like, no way. No
Mm,
way. And then when annuities, the guy that was supposed to be mentoring me started selling, his primary target was college kids. So he would sell a product that had a 10% bonus, knowing that they have a 10% penalty if they pulled it out for college. But that was his pitch. And I just decided I am so done with this. And I'm going to start my own business with my own ethics, my own integrity, live above reproach. And it took
yes.
off. It took off. But I'll
Yes, it
share I'll
did.
share a little bit at the 8% Nation, kind of what
That's
I
cool.
had to go through because It was tough, man. I mean, we didn't just get hit financially. My daughter had a massive medical event. I mean, she's on a ventilator for 7 days. So, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's crazy. She's alive now. Everything's good, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it all hit at once. So, if I can encourage people that are new in the business to just stick with it, have fortitude. I mean,
Yeah.
what would have happened if you would have based your success now off of your first two events?
I would have stopped doing events for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure as you still want to now at times. Like,
Oh, totally.
yeah. But
Totally.
what's
Right?
your drive? Helping others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Amen. Yeah. You mentioned something recently. We were talking, um, I think it was earlier about annuity leads,
Mhm,
and you called 6 and you
mhm.
booked 5,
Yep.
right? And obviously that doesn't happen every time he calls annuities leads for anybody really, but you tend to have really good success when you reach someone. You probably come across an expert.
Mhm,
Obviously, you definitely do.
mhm,
You've been doing it for years.
mhm.
What are some tips that you would give for those that are like trying to work their way into the annuity market and they're prospecting and trying to get more
Yeah.
appointments on their calendar?
Number one, care about who you're talking with.
Mm,
So, that's really what it comes down to. And I'm sharing this at 8% Nation too. But, when I was a teenager, this girl ripped my heart out. She set on fire. She backed over it. She put nails in it. And I mean, it was just, first massive heartbreak. And I'm crying. And my dad walks in the room. He's former military. And his son, what's the matter? And I said, oh, this girl ripped my heart out. And he goes, oh, don't worry. It's only puppy love. But I said, yeah, Dad, but it's real to the puppy. And, that moment, my world imploded. I mean, Cody, do you have kids?
not yet. No,
Not
sir.
yet. Okay. So I have three girls and a boy. But when
Ah,
Barbie's head fell off, you thought it was a horror movie. Well, Barbie's head came off, and I'd come over and plop it back on. To them at that moment, their world imploded. If you
mm,
have someone that has $100,000 and they lose 30%, their world imploded more than someone who has $10 million and they lose 30%. So, the important thing to remember when you're addressing clients, it's real to them. Their circumstance is real to them. Now, does what they want match what they need? That's totally different. So, when you're a new person or been doing this a long time, you have to remember, what does that client need? I want $10,000 a month and I want it to last me for the rest of my life. I want all market gains and none of the losses. That is not realistic. What they need is safety and security. So, number one is caring about the person's situation and meeting them where they're at. Number two is
mm,
become a product expert. Know what's out there. Don't listen to your FMO, IMO, your financial upline, whatever it is saying this is the best product. You need to know in your heart that's the best product for them. And the only way to do that is to research and study like crazy.
strong.
Yeah.
Yes. That's really good. Yeah, I would say that's I've noticed that too. Like, I'm kind of curious on your opinion on one thing.
Hmm.
Just because it's a part of the retirement world, even though it's not an annuity. The I feel like IUL is becoming very mainstream, and it's like promoted as like the end all be all for everyone. What's your opinion on this subject?
Well, it's the end all for a lot of people. It's not the be all, you know? I mean, that's a fact. It is definitely the end all for most because most of those
Mm,
products do not illustrate the way they illustrated. And now, is there a place? Absolutely. When it's done
yeah,
right, it can be perfect. But it's kind of like the same thing going on with Roth IRA conversions. That's kind of the main grab right now. And being in this business for a long time, you can see there's these grabs. Do you remember infinite banking?
yeah,
Yeah, where they'd actually talk you into taking equity out of your home, doing a variable loan, and putting it into a life insurance policy. And,
correct.
thankfully those guys got busted. But, when you look at that, that was the thing. Now, I'm going to balance out. Remember, I don't have a problem with IULs, but to
Mm,
make that as that's your own bank, that's your own, way to be able to take out money and get income for the rest of your life. No, that is not the case. I will say this till I'm dead. An indexed annuity with the income rider is the best way to provide income for life without market volatility and risk, not an
mm,
IUL. And there's a lot of people in our industry now, if you've noticed, they're actually starting to come out and say it's true, IULs are not the best. I mean, think about what just happened when they changed some of the way they calculate mortality rates, or they start to adjust the cost of insurance. That can blow an illustration up. So I would just say be cautious in how you present those.
Yeah, it's a good point. And to like in your example, like you are building rapport, you're
Hmm.
fact finding, like you're researching, like products in and out.
Yeah,
Your goal is to make sure that you put them in the best thing that's possible for them.
100%.
Where I just don't feel like that's always the case with a lot of advisors.
Well, and a lot of it's the mentorship. We're real big in our mentorship program and our training programs to make sure that we teach them you are responsible for the product you put someone in, not your upline, not the insurance company, you are. And so part of that training is where you feel confident. I mean, I can tell you, being in sales now for 32 years, I've always been in sales, and my number one thing was always I was in the jewelry business for 12 years, so I literally sold diamonds and gold and rubies, and I could tell you where the origin was, how they're created, if this was heat treated or not, and it would be different than the other places you would go to. And so and I'd make it a memory. I mean, see, this is where sales kicks in. I remember this one sale. This guy was kind of being a jerk, but he had all five of their kids there, and you could tell this wife was a worker. Like, she took care of the kids. She made sure they were fine. She wanted this ring, and I literally, guys, kind of joking around. She doesn't deserve it. And I said, okay. I said, just do me a quick favor. I said, pick up that ring, and he did. I said, slide that, look her in the eye, and slide that ring on her finger. And he did. I said, now look her in the eyes and tell her she doesn't deserve it.
Mm,
She walked out with that ring. So, yeah. I mean, why?
that's
Because
good.
when you're trying to help people, it's about
Yeah.
meeting a need that they may not know that they need. And
Mm,
obviously, that lady wanted the ring, but did the guy really realize how important that was to her? I just helped a
mhm,
client right now, most ever, not the sale. The sale was 2.2 million. Their money was in 32 different places. We had 17 transfer forms, and I'm getting two checks. So literally 19 different sources of funds coming into seven different annuities, because Roth IRA, non-qualified, 1035 exchange. There's a whole bunch of places. But you know what the number one root of the whole issue was? If he died, she has no idea where everything is, and she had no idea how she would survive. And I'm telling you, when they start to get teary eyed,
mhm.
realizing that you're meeting this need and you're literally giving them a peace of mind, and oh my gosh, it's the best feeling. It's like the agent that comes on board and they've been beaten up by other FMOs, and then they realize you actually care about me, and they start
Mm,
writing business, and then they send you pictures of their first family vacation at Disney World or Hawaii. You're just like, oh God, this is what it's about. you know
correct.
they're helping
Yeah.
others, they're living a legacy. And there's a whole nother level. When you get married, pleasing your spouse is just top priority. And then
Amen.
you get kids, and you're like, when you start to fulfill dreams, it's such a completion. And then when you're able to just complete the dreams and visions of people you don't even know, that's a whole nother level. They don't know where it came from. They don't know what happened. They just know that their family's now on a vacation. They don't know where the money came from. And you get to live that if we do it right in this business. And when you and me, Cody, when we get to help agents, when you stop thinking, you'll never know this while you're here on this planet, but the number of people you're able to help and fulfill their dreams through your conferences and the speakers you bring in, the collaboration, the networking, the partnerships, when you're able to do that, you're blessing people you don't even know. And
Mm,
they're not always going to see. You need to have you need to put up some sort of wall at these events, a testimonial wall or whatever, and just start saying, this is what I've been able to do. This is not necessarily always shouting out, obviously, 8% Nation and you or me or whatever, but
sure.
this is the life we've been able to live that we never thought possible. And then when you're having a hard day and you're on
Right.
your 22nd hour of the day, you literally could open that up and you just start watching those videos and you go, this is why we do it. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just got goosebumps when you said that too. I'm like, I would definitely get emotional watching all that for
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
you know?
Because there's
Yeah.
times where you're tired, man. I mean, I used to work 70 to 80
Oh,
hours a week. And, fortunately through some lifestyle changes I've done, now I'm about 40 to 45 hours, and because I had a couple health scares, and
mm,
fortunately everything's fine. But my wife has been, she goes, I've been telling you that for 10 years, because I'd work my tail off, then we'd take 2, 3 weeks off. I'd work my tail off, then we'd take 2 to 3 weeks off. But what it was doing to my body wasn't worth it.
yeah.
Now where I am now, I would do it all over again, because now our family lives a lifestyle and we're able to help people. I mean, I go back to the Bible. How many people sacrificed major things to help other people get to where they are? I
Mhm.
mean,
Yes.
it's all about the sacrifice, and you do a very good job at that.
Thank you very much.
And
I
and
appreciate you
Dylan
saying that.
really does too. He probably
That's right.
sacrifices more than anything else. Poor guy.
He does, man. He's a talented dude. He's been with us for forever.
I can't
He's a
wait
good
to meet
dude.
him now. I
Dude,
love
he's
meeting
awesome.
people who I get to tease. So,
Yes, yes. You'll love Dylan.
oh,
You'll love
I'm
Dylan.
sure I will. I'm sure everybody I've been in contact with your team has been phenomenal,
Thank you.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
So it
L
is.
likewise. Likewise.
It's a testament to you, because your your people that work with you are often a reflection of who you are. And so it's same with your kids. As a parent, one of the
Mm,
most rewarding things in life is when you see the reflection of your parenting in your kids and how they handle tough situations. And so,
yes.
yeah,
Thank you for that, man. I
of
appreciate that.
course.
That makes
Yeah.
also, so last question, I was curious to this. When you called those leads recently,
Uh-huh.
what was your opening? What was your script? Like, how do you call leads?
It's the
What's the like
same thing no matter what lead I use. It doesn't matter if it's radio, internet, kaboom, it doesn't matter. Hey, this is Chad Owen. You reached out to me. You said you had needed some information about retirement. You want an expert to help you. What questions can I answer for you? That is the same thing no matter what system
wow,
I use.
that's
People
incredible.
overcomplicate it. So when I'm asking that, what am I doing? You reached out to me. I'm here to serve you. What questions do you have for me? That's
Mm,
it. Don't overcomplicate it.
we do though. Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Gosh, we do.
Yeah.
If they wanna learn, more,
Mhm.
what should they do? Where should they go?
Well, we definitely have Retirement Realized Agents Academy, which is Retirement Realized Financial, and we are more than happy to help agents get to where they need to be. We have a full blown, and I just got corrected on this, Cody. I'm going to say CRM, but it's not a CRM. It's a full agency. I can't even remember the term Caleb used on
Like
that.
agency management? I
Agency marketing suite. Agency
yes.
marketing suite, yes. And so he said, if I'm calling a CRM, I'm not using it right. So I get that. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not. So, but
Yeah, there you
we
go.
have a full thing that can help you maintain clients, leads, full blown marketing system. Everything on my academy is exactly what I do. I mean, from
Yeah.
my handouts to my fact finder to my full blown presentation. Jesse Black's on there, and he is he's helped me. Literally 50% of my business this year has been virtual, and I'm at 18
Wow,
million for the year. And
that's
it's
cool.
when I'm sitting there going, wait a second, I actually haven't taken my truck out of the driveway for a day. It's just from someone who drives 4,000 miles a month. It's a lifestyle change, but
Mhm.
everything is on that. So it's
That's incredible.
agents.retirementrealized.com, and realized is with a D. And of course, I'm sure there's probably going to be some sort of link or something you'll have in the comments or somewhere.
Absolutely, we'll definitely
Yeah.
put it below. Chad, you're incredible. Appreciate all you do for the industry, and thank you so much for your time today.
Feel the same thing about you. You've done phenomenal. You're creating an incredible generational legacy, starting with your father. And I can't wait to see what your kids are doing. So,
Hey, man, I
yeah,
love that.
awesome.
Right back
Thank
at
you
you,
for
man.
having me on.
Thank you, okay. Also, thank you guys for hanging and listening to Mr. Chad Owen, man. Dude is amazing at the retirement game, helping clients with annuities. Also, if you're like, you know what, I want to get into annuities and I'm looking for leads, you can go to kaboomleads.com. You can use coupon code YouTube and get 10% off your very first order. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you at 8%, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Adios.